Our next speaker is Mike Langlois. Mike Langlois started his career as a financial advisor in 1989 with Prudential of America. In his first year, he was awarded Rookie of the Year, and in his second year, he became Prudential's #1 investment advisor in Canada. Mike has consistently ranked amongst the top 10 advisors in Canada ever since. The merger of Prudential and London Life in 1996 provided Mike with the opportunity to create his own independent operation, Langlois Financial Services Incorporated. Mike is a certified senior advisor, and he has achieved lifetime member status at the $1 Million Roundtable. Membership in this organization represents the top 1% of life insurance and financial services professionals worldwide. Please welcome the president of Langlois Financial Services, Mike Langlois.
Let's see here. Get rid of that. Am I all live? How's everybody doing? Okay? You know, I just wanted to, having a good time? That's good. I just wanted to thank Norman again for coming out tonight. I want you to really know that this individual is one of the top money managers in the country, and he's a very busy man, and I really appreciate him coming out tonight and sharing some of his words with us and help us understand what's going on in the markets today and going forward. So thank you again, Norman. Before I carry on, there was a couple things. Everybody was starting to ask for updates on things that have happened in the last year personally and giving me updates of their own. So I just thought I'd take a minute and tell you, first of all, it's unbelievable that a year has gone by. I can't believe that the last seminar we had was over 12 months ago. And yeah, there's been a lot of changes in our life when I think about it, and I'm sure in your lives too, how much changes in the year. But for us, it's been incredible. I mean, at this time last year, we were talking about my son Mike getting ready for surgery over at Princess Margaret, and we weren't really sure how that was going to turn out. And here we are 12 months later. Surgery was a total success. He's done a great job. He's met a lovely young lady. He started a new career. He's bought a new home. He's got a lot going on, and so, you keep a positive attitude. Things change a lot in a very short period of time. And not to be outdone, Brian and his wife, Kelly, are expecting their first baby in any day now, and our first grandchild. So there's been a lot of changes in our lives. And I am ready to deliver if necessary, Kelly, so don't worry. Now, before we go any further, much like Norman, I have to put up my disclaimer, make sure that we take care of everything and make sure we're compliant as well. So I'll just give you a second there. And I know you're all speed readers, so I think you're all ready to move on, are you? The other thing I'd like to say is it's really nice to see the turnout tonight. This is one of the largest, if not the largest, we've ever had. And you've always been very supportive, and I appreciate that. And what's even nicer is that we're seeing a wide range of age groups out here. And that's important because, regardless of what age you are, at some point, whether you like it or not, you're going to have to start thinking about retirement. And no matter whether you're starting to save for retirement, whether you're approaching your retirement years, or whether you're already retired, there's two things that everybody seems to be concerned about. I mean, the first one is making sure that you save enough money so someday you actually can retire. That would be nice. And not outliving that capital that you've put aside for retirement. So tonight, I'd like to speak to you a little bit about a new product called the Lifetime Income Benefit. And I'm also going to refer to it as the LIB for short. Now, the concerns that most people have when they're approaching retirement, first of all, would be the longevity risk. And that's not knowing how long you're going to live and therefore how much money you're going to need to sustain yourself through retirement. Then there's market return risk, which Norm talked about, and it's not really knowing what the income you're going to receive will be at retirement because markets are not guaranteed and they're volatile, they can move up and down at a moment's notice. And then there's inflation risk. And that is, will the income that you've planned to use for retirement be enough to cover the expenses that you have tomorrow, the unknown? Now, how can we help you with this? Well, by choosing the right products for the right need, we can provide you with a sustainable income at retirement, liquidity, estate protection, and also growth potential. And we know you want certainty. As I said earlier, you want to protect two things. You want to protect your retirement income and the invested capital that you have. Now, the 5 to 10 years after beginning retirement and the 5 to 10 years before retirement are what we consider the retirement risk zone. And the reason for this is because in the 5 to 10 years before you retire, you may not have the time to recover from a sudden downturn in the market. And likewise, if a down market happens as you begin to draw your retirement, you could deplete your investments before you have a chance for the market to recover. And that's why we generally look at reallocating portfolios to a lower risk as you approach retirement to reduce that risk. But it still doesn't eliminate market risk. It's always a factor. Now, when it comes to providing retirement income, the traditional options for people have been things such as annuities, investment funds, and GICs. Now, I mean, what is an annuity? I think most people have heard the term, and a lot of you have a general idea what it is. But simply, in simple terms, it's basically taking your money, giving it to an insurance company and saying, I want you to provide me with a lifetime income. The positives, well, you get a steady income for the rest of your life, and you'll never outlive it. Now, on the negative side, though, there's no growth or hedge against inflation, because once that income is set up, it doesn't change. And as inflation starts to eat away at your money, there's nothing you can do to hedge against that. The other problem is that you've given up the money of the insurance company for the income, so you don't have access to your money for unforeseen financial emergencies that might arise over time. And there's usually little or no estate value. Then there's investment funds. And the positive for those, well, you have growth potential. You've got access to your capital if you need it. And there's an estate value at the time of death. Some of the negatives, well, as we've heard before, there's no guarantees. And a market downturn could seriously affect your future income and your estate value down the road. GICs. The positives, well, that's pretty easy. Put $100,000 in, you get $100,000 out. And there is an estate value. The negative side, though, is that they're not usually very liquid, because in order to get any kind of return at all, you have to lock them in for a specific time, like 1, 3, or 5 years. And there are some redeemable GICs you can purchase, but the problem is that there are significant penalties where you would lose some or all of the interest if you don't hold it until the maturity date. They're also not a very good hedge against inflation, because the kind of return that you get on these investments are generally around the inflation rate or lower. And as Norm talked about from the tax perspective, non-registered GICs are not as favorably taxed as investment funds or annuities. But now we have the lifetime income benefit, and that can provide you with the best of all worlds. First of all, lifetime income benefit can provide you with a guaranteed minimum income, liquidity in the case of a financial emergency that you didn't plan for, potential for growth, and you still have an estate value at the time of death. Now, some of the key features of this plan. First of all, there's a 5% bonus for each year that you don't take any income. Also, once you're retired, you're going to receive a guaranteed lifetime income of between 4 and 6%. Opportunity is going to be there for you to participate in market gains using the income reset option. And market value is available to your beneficiaries. So I guess what we're trying to say is that there's a lot of choices with this type of product. Now, depending on the age that you decide to retire, you're going to receive a guaranteed minimum income of between 4 and 6%, as I said earlier. So if you look at this, for example, if you were to retire at 50, your lifetime income percentage that you would receive on your deposit would be 4%. And likewise, at age 75 and beyond, the interest income you would receive percentage would be 6%. Now, I like this slide because when we talk about a guaranteed lifetime income to any age, this gives you a good example of what we're talking about. If you take a look at a client age 65 who contributes $500,000 to one of these plans and starts immediately receiving an income, he's going to get $25,000 for the rest of their lives. And that income is paid for your life even if the policy market value ends up being zero. And you can see that as the market value gets to zero, you can see the income stream continues well beyond that. Now, here are the events where the lifetime income amount would be calculated. First of all is the initial deposit. If you start drawing an income right away, they're going to look at that age scale and determine what income percentage you're going to receive. And any subsequent deposits from then on, you'll also get that percentage based on the age at the time of the deposit. Now, there are deferral bonuses and income resetting. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But the important thing to remember with the LIB is that the amount of income that you receive has the opportunity to increase, but it'll never decrease unless you take excess withdrawals from your plan. Now, the deferral bonus. Once a plan is set up, for every year that you defer drawing an income, a 5% simple interest bonus is going to be added to your lifetime income withdrawal base. And this is applicable every year prior to withdrawal, and there's no time limits. Now, the deferral bonus doesn't have a cash value. It is a notional value only. And so with that in mind, I wanted to explain to you the differences between market value and notional value. The market value is simply the actual value of your account at any given day. And it's totally cashable, and that is what is used to determine the estate value should you pass away. On the other side, the notional value, it's not cashable. It's strictly used to determine the income benefits, fees, and bonuses of your plan. It's totally independent of market value, and death maturity benefits has nothing to do with that. Now, income resets. Income resets can occur every 3 years once you start your plan. The lifetime income amount is going to increase if an income reset is applied. Now, income resets are available for the full life of your policy, but they don't increase maturity and death benefit guarantees, not at all. Now, this slide's great because it really shows you how it takes advantage of market upturns. If you take a look at this particular slide, it's showing you at age 0, hypothetically, somebody started their income at year 0. Now, you look at it 3 years later, and you can see that the market value of the plan has increased, and so therefore, they've reset the individual's income stream based on that higher market value. Now, you can see that we have a steady uptick for the following, for a total of 12 years, and you can see the income has risen every single time. Now, at the highest point of where income has been generated, as the market value drops on this plan, you can see that the income stream continues at the highest level that this plan has achieved, and that will never end, so long as this person is alive. So, when you're taking advantage of lifetime income benefit, the thing I really like about it over some of the other options is that you still have access to market growth, and it allows you to have access to many of the top funds in Canada. And that means that you're still able to diversify your portfolio and not have all your eggs in one basket, which is something a lot of people are always concerned about. So I think you can see why this product fits very nicely into someone's retirement plans. So what I've done is in your little folders, I've included a brochure on the lifetime income benefit. And I'd like you to read it when you go home, because I think between reading that book and listening to this presentation, you'll have a pretty good grasp of what exactly the lifetime income benefit's all about. Now, if you have any more questions or you'd like to see whether or not it would work for you or a family member, feel free to give us a call, and we'll be happy to set up an appointment and discuss it in more detail in your situation. Now, I take a lot of pride in what I've done with Langlois Financial and what we bring to the table for each and every one of you. And every year, I always like to take a few minutes to go over some of that, some of the changes we've made, and especially tonight with so many new faces in the crowd, I think it's even more important that we go over that. And at Langlois Financial, we always promise to meet with each and every one of you every single year, at least once a year, face-to-face, at a time and place that's convenient for you, wherever you like, at home, at work, at the office, my office, doesn't matter, we'll be there when you need us. We also like to try, we think it's very important to make it easy for you to contact us, and that's why if you call our office from 8:30 to 5, we've expanded our hours actually, from 8:30 to 5, from Monday to Friday, and until 8:30 on Mondays and Wednesday nights, you'll get a friendly voice that's going to help you with any questions you have. You're not going to be pushed off on a voicemail telling you to press 1 or 2 or call back tomorrow. You're not going to get that with us. We also put our cell numbers on our business cards, and the reason for that is we want to be available to you 24/7. And a lot of you know, have experienced when you've had situations on a weekend or late at night and you're concerned, you know you've called us and we've been able to get back to you or deal with you right on the spot. And that's important to us. Now, it's very, in order for us to maintain that level of service, we have to continue to expand. And if you want to keep this up, what we do for you. And so this year we added 2 new team members to our staff. One to our administrative team, which is Cheryl Bennett. If you could just wave to them, Cheryl, for those that didn't meet her. And then we also, to our sales staff, our advisory staff, Adam Ivkovich, which is right here. Let's give him a little wave there. And they're doing a great job. Langlois Financial's future looks very bright. We also have our website, which a lot of you make use of, and we're pretty proud of that website. We get a lot of compliments about it in the industry. It's one of the best out there, and we are proud of it. We like to brag about it. And if you sign up for our LFS reports, you're going to get a quarterly newsletter that's going to update you on all sorts of things, from taxes, investments, insurance, and many others. We also have market dates available from some of the top investment firms in Canada, and those are available to you 7 days a week. And we also provide you with access to your account, and those are updated Monday to Friday. They're updated on a daily basis every business day. So anytime you want to look at your account, you're welcome to look at it, and you'll get a pretty up-to-date number for your investment account. We also send occasional emails with information we believe is important, talking about volatile markets or if something's happened suddenly. We also use it this year to remind everybody about this important event tonight so you didn't miss it. And even with that, some people did miss it and were disappointed they couldn't make it. But in order to make sure that we get this important information out to you, we need your help. And I know a lot of people have already talked to me tonight about filling out that form that we put the contact information sheet. That's really important to us. And if you would please take a minute to complete that before you leave tonight and hand it in to one of the ladies, we'd appreciate it, because then we can update our systems to make sure that we have all the right contact information. And if there's anything that you don't want us to have, like your work number or what have you, just write down that you don't want to be contacted at work, and we'll update the systems accordingly with that. We also have a lot of client events throughout the year, and some of them, like tonight's, are educational, and it's to help keep you informed. We try to get the best speakers out here so that you'll understand what's going on out there, and this way that, you know, the better you understand it, the less likely you are to panic and make a bad judgment decision with regards to your investments. And new for 2011 is we're looking at expanding our offices as well to include a much larger meeting room where we can host mini seminars on topics that come up throughout the year that we think might be important to set up a meeting for you to benefit from. We also have our RSP weekends, and if you come on those weekends, there's 2 of them during the RSP weekend, basically, if you show up at our office on one of those weekends, you'll get a donut, and I know some of you have been there. Goodness, I mean, they're always asking me about it. You'll get your coffee and a nice travel mug, and it's yours to keep. Also, you'll get to pick a prize from our treasure chest, and it might be something small, you know, but it might be something really nice. But in any case, you won't walk away empty-handed. You'll have a good time, and we always have a good laugh at the office when you come to visit us. We really like it. We also have social events throughout the year, and our next major social event is going to be on February the 18th, 2011, when Langlois Financial Services will be presenting the Pointer Sisters live at the Rose Theatre. And this show includes dinner and a backstage meet and greet with them, and a lot of people have been out to these with me, and they know how much fun they are. There's still some of them that are trying to recover from the David Cassidy event we had a couple of years ago. It was quite concerning, but they had a heck of a good time. Now, the way to get invited to this type of event is that if you've referred a client to us in 2010 or the first month in 2011, you're going to be invited to come to this event. And it's just our way of saying thank you for supporting us with everything that we do and what you do to help us. Now, as I've always mentioned, always when I see you, when I have get-togethers, that there's only 2 ways that we continue to do what we do and continue to grow. And that's if you help us. And that is that if there's anything that we provide that you need, that you give us the chance to help you. And secondly, if there's anybody you know that you believe will benefit from the services and products that we offer, that you please tell them who we are. Because this way, not only are you helping us, but you're helping to protect your friends and family and making sure that they get the service and advice that you've been accustomed to receiving for so many years. Now, in closing, I'd like to say thank you again for all of you for coming out tonight. You have no idea how much it means to me that you take time from your busy schedules to share time with us, and it means everything to me when you show up, and I love it. And I also like to thank our speaker, Norm, again, for coming out and spending some time with us tonight. And he's also graciously agreed to answer any questions that people would like to talk to him afterwards. I'd like to thank Peggy, who's my right-hand lady at the office, for helping to make sure everything went smoothly tonight, and the rest of the staff. Special thank you to Charmaine. I mean, other than the fact that everybody tells me she's looking younger every year, I mean, I got a lot of compliments about my wife tonight. Boy, not so much about me, but more about her. So, she does an incredible amount of work for this seminar, and it's like setting up a wedding every year, and she makes it look so easy, but I tell you, it's not. She does a heck of a lot of work, and she makes it come off so easy. So thank you, Charmaine, for such a fantastic job.